I mean, drainage wouldn't be an issue because we could improvise and just see how, obviously it's something that we're considering at the moment. We're not going ahead with it, we're not doing anything.
No, I'm going to say, I think this needs to be considered in the context of the whole MUVA and the development of the MUVA. Because if you're going to spend £2,500 on a storage unit, you know, that's a huge investment, and the MUVA itself is not really fit for purpose for many facilities, you know, for many functions. So the whole thing needs to be looked at as a project, including storage for the ground staff and equipment.
Yeah, I mean, this was a short-term solution because of what happened down at the cemetery, the building being broken into, losing the generator, the inconvenience that caused, the additional work in the office and having to then get in touch with insurance companies, things like that. So that's the idea. It's not a permanent fix, but it's something that, you know, if we do the job for the foreseeable future, and it's not a fixed unit, you know, they can be picked up and relocated. So if and when the new bit is improved, then certainly we could move it to another location, or even resell it. But this is the one that's crossed. It just gives you an idea. So really it was just to find out what the ground staff actually wanted, what would like, that would fulfil what they need.
Chair, you say without windows?
That's what they said.
Well, you got what you can't sell in the context, it sounds like a prison cell to me. And I certainly wouldn't want to work in a place like that, and I wouldn't want anyone else to work in there in my space.
I must admit, I was surprised when you said that.
I think they felt it was more secure with no windows.
Actually, they
Well, it sounds a bit Victorian to me.
Yeah. I think we should enforce them.
I think it's
They got given the opportunity to say.
I know, but these are two staff who are currently there. You've got to think of the staff who could be there in the future.
I think it's a bit of a gut reaction, emotional reaction to what's happened at the cemetery, and I think we should just leave it as it is at the moment until some proper decision is made about what to do with it.
No, there's no intention of making a decision. It was just, we're progressing. We've got there, which is, you know, we can then, more I'm saying, because we now know roughly the size of the thing.
Yeah.
So then you could start approaching somebody and saying, you know, be involved with getting permission.
But at the moment, everything is secure, isn't it?
As secure as it can, yeah.
While I was on the MUGA, the story, I believe, in the defunct planning consent that we had, now expired, there was quite a large piece of storage for equipment actually built in there to go in the new, because we applied for planning permission, we got it, we spent all that money on it, we got an architect's drawing, but whatever reason we didn't go through because I don't think we could get funding
for it, could we? So it just got shelved,
yeah.
basically.
So we couldn't get funding from certain places to completely do it. And that storage, what you're talking about, is all built in that expansion without having to pay for storage units and then planning consent and electricians to go in there. So if we could get in contact with someone like Sport, I believe it was Sports England, someone said that we could have it, but we'd have to match fund it, but we just couldn't get the match funding at the time. So
Yeah,
we really and truly need to think about getting, if that's not fit for purpose, money to bring that up to standard. And if we want to need storage units as well, then look at the planning consent we had before, and the plans from the architect to see whether they are still what we call viable, and see if we can get some grants to do whatever.
Yeah, this is an option we could go down. But as I say, this was just for information, you know, to see what, you know, if we needed it, what's available and what their needs were. And that's purely what it was. No decision required or anything like that. It was just to get things moving forward so that we could start making career questions. Yes, you're quite right, if we could resurrect that planning permission and resubmit it, and it's still valid, then that money spent on the architect and that wouldn't have been wasted. So,
we spoke about this quite some time ago, and I thought it was decided that someone was going to look at this.
what it was the water supply and the practicalities of the footballers use it as a tea room.
Yes, we did
that was
that, we
where it
agreed
stemmed
that,
Yeah,
and they're already doing that, aren't they?
yeah.
So I
It,
believe.
it was whether there could be modifications, but we still needed somewhere for the grounds.
That's right, we employ staff, so we've got to provide them with facilities.
Yeah, and that was the short-term option, was just a simple storage come office unit. And so that's where we progressed to at the moment. We know now what they want. We might be persuaded about we don't.
Good.
You know,
So, I mean, very often councillors do say, you know, Sports England to raise money and fill in forms, but nobody actually ever gets around to doing it. I mean, Councillor Lynch, you do say very often about organisations that will donate money, but it does take time to fill all those forms in and complete. So if they could keep bringing it to council about a form that needs to be completed in. As a councillor, you
This particular month, I helped a member of staff fill out a form for a grant, and I also sent off for that grant, and she's now waiting on to see whether or not she gets that grant back. And it would be unlikely for me to turn and give that thing about that organisation whether or not she gets the grant, because she's applied for a £500 grant to set up a Lego club, like Stotfold run Lego club. So I've actually sat down with her and I helped her fill the form out for that grant. So I've actually done that for that one organisation.
So why don't council know about that?
Because where it's a report from the resource centre manager, right? I'm sorry, but that should come through on a report from the resource centre manager. She filled the grant in, she signed it, you know, on behalf of the town council.
But how do we not know about that? I'm awfully sorry, she signed it on behalf of the council, and we know nothing about it.
Because she's there to run it, and she's trying to get in the football.
Let's get back on track with this. So really, that's for your information. The issue of what you're saying is quite right. There are places, but we need, you know, we need to know what we're after first before we can start applying for anything. Because it's no good saying give us X amount of pounds, because they're going to say, well, how much and what for?
Yeah.
So until we're actually in a position where we know which way we're going to go, then, you know, we just move forwards, but in the right order. Okay, right, we move now on to item 10, council payment.
That must be getting over.
Recommend approval, Chair.
Yeah, second that.